welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook. We have here Dr. Meghan with McHenry County Acupuncture. Dr. Meghan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. We're taping this on a Friday, so everybody loves Fridays. So
Yes.
I'm right there with them. Now, I do know that I have been able to have the opportunity to meet you in the field. A lot of Cup of Joes. We did actually go to support you at one of your events too, and I've had your husband at my house to do some work around here as well, which is pretty cool. So tell me what's fun and exciting in the world of you and your husband?
Not too much. The day to day, just keeping up, both business owners, so we're always running around like crazy trying to find all the new things or the little fires that we have to put out. But yeah, we always plan a trip in September just to reset and get away. We got married last August, so it's kind of like our celebrate our anniversary and reset for the last quarter of the year or whatever is left.
That's awesome. And we had kind of mentioned before we started here, but Neha and I are going to Cancun for our anniversary, and it looks like you and Jason are doing the same.
Yeah, it'll be
Awesome,
great.
awesome. Maybe we'll see each other, like I said, on the flights or something when we come back and you guys go there.
Yes.
So you do some pretty cool stuff. Why don't you tell everybody about your business and what inspired you to kind of get into acupuncture and to establish your own business?
Yeah, so at McHenry County Acupuncture, we help people through all different sorts of health journeys. So, whether that's someone coming in for pain, insomnia, mental health things like anxiety, depression, I work with people through infertility, gut health, like all the things. And we do that through acupuncture, which is using little needles to stimulate points on channels in the body to create balance. Herbal medicine, which helps to give us fuel and move things through the body so that we can heal. That's what I say is like your daily treatment. So when you can't see me every day for acupuncture, you can take your herbs every day. And then I also do massage and cupping and gua sha, so that helps to just stimulate muscle relaxation, open channel pathways, and just get people into that like rest and relax mode again so that they can heal. So that's kind of what we do here.
And what inspired you to do that? Like, when did you sort of decide, hey, you know what, I want to start sticking needles into people?
Yeah, so I grew up with a very like holistic family. So I have wonderful parents that, used Western medicine when we needed it, but always tried to find alternatives to start. So I kind of grew up with this mindset always, and I have an aunt who's an acupuncturist in Arizona, so I've always known about acupuncture my whole life. But I started in massage therapy, so that got me to know the body and get comfortable working with people. And so I've been a massage therapist for about 8 years. And I always knew that I would want to go back to school and expand my knowledge and help people in other ways. So when I into going back, I was looking for something where I was treating someone as a whole person. So not coming in and seeing like, oh, you have these three symptoms that are really bugging you. I just want to treat you as Joe. So acupuncture was the place that I felt like I was doing that. And you can treat so many different things just from one treatment. So it was the one that stuck with me the most. And then I was working outside of other offices and spas and things like that. And I had a colleague come up to me and say, you know what, Meghan, you're too good at what you do to be in the back of someone else's business. And so that was kind of my drive of like, you're right, I need to take this leap. It's always been in the back of my mind, but all the fears and all the worries come forth. And her saying that just really drove me to, okay, this is the time to do it.
As a small business owner, Megan, what sort of obstacles do you find that you have to overcome, and how have you been able to overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, I feel like the startup is the hardest part, trying to get everything set up and figuring out what ducks you need and what row and all those things. So finding the tools to get that all set up was a little bit of a challenge. And, I hired a great attorney to help me with all of the legal documents and all of those things because when you're in the medical world, you have to make sure that you have everything set up correctly. And then I would say my other one would be that just finding the right space. I wanted a space that felt like home, felt like a good place where you could actually feel comfortable to talk to me and be in a restful place. So I took a good amount of time just looking for my right space and finally found it here.
Nice, nice. And Neha and I visited you there. You've got a nice little space there. Obviously, to have a business, you want to gain customers, keep customers, and grow your customer base. What sort of what do you have in place to grow your customer base?
Yeah, so I've been doing a couple things. Right now, the biggest drive that I've seen to my business is through social media and Facebook. So I try to stay good with consistent posting, but also having people like all of my patients and my friends and my family doing different, like tagging me in all the posts when people are like, oh, I have back pain, I don't know what to do, and they tag me in it. A lot of people have found me that way, so I'm trying to keep really active and aware of that space. And then I have joined a networking group, which I feel like gets me in front of people that I wouldn't normally meet. So I like that, just to have other business owners to bounce ideas off of and, again, meet people that aren't in my normal path. So that's been really helpful. And going to health centered events. So I set up different booths at wellness events and things like that so that I'm in front of those people in our community.
Yeah, and I know my wife's was able to see you in one of those along the
Yeah.
way as well. I know she was really excited. She said, "I got to go see Megan. I got to go see Dr. Megan." I said, "Well, then go see Dr. Megan. That's great." Um, what this is something that you're extremely passionate about and you're very educated about. Something that you're in it to win it, right? I love the ducks in the rows. By the way, it reminds me of my father, God rest his soul. But what sort of trends do you anticipate coming up? What sort of future trends do you see in your industry, and how do you plan on really trying to get a hold on dealing with those trends?
Yeah, well, I feel like right now people are really interested in learning about different options that they have when it comes to their health. So I really love doing the education piece for the general public. And I feel like that's a big part of what I do. So, yes, I'm treating people, but a lot of it is just teaching people what acupuncture is and what it can do. So, staying up to date on that. And then just in this profession, we're already set up to kind of stay ahead of the game because we have to keep up with our continued education hours. So that sets us up to make sure we're learning new modalities, keeping up with research and those types of things. But I mean, that being said, acupuncture's been around for over 3,000 years, so there aren't huge changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's always good to see what else we can do and how we can mesh it with Western medicine. So that's usually how we're growing, is seeing, oh, yeah, we've been doing this for 3,000 years, but now we have the ability to see inside the body and see how it's working from a Western medicine standpoint.
So now, does that include just an added question with that? Does that include like attending conferences or going to different? You said it's continued learning, and if you're not continually learning what you're doing and so passionate about, you're not growing, right? And if you're not growing, then you're just sort of you're staying stagnant and staying stale. So can you give us some examples of some of those conferences that you do attend?
Yeah, so I went to this amazing school, Pacific College of Health and Science, and they host a conference every year in San Diego. So lucky me, I get to go to a nice place every year to do my training.
Yes.
But yeah, so then they teach you about, like, if you're really interested in working with women's health or you're really interested in working with athletes, you can go and then expand your knowledge there. So you're spending a long weekend, or sometimes you can do online trainings and different things of how you want to set that up. But yeah, then you get to meet up with other professionals and hear about their stories and learn some new techniques and watching out for different red flags and how you can help Western medicine and Eastern medicine all at the same time.
I hope they do those conferences when it's cold out by us, so you can go to the warm climate.
Yes.
I'm sure they're really pulling. It's really hard for you to get on a plane and head to San Diego. By the way,
Right. Yes.
I love me San Diego. Give us one or two, but give us a feel good story that you have. Maybe someone that you were able to help, maybe a repeatable customer that you have, just somebody that somebody or somebodies that really kind of stick with you and kind of that what you're doing is the right thing, and you really we have good days and bad days no matter what we're doing, and we really kind of have to hold on to those good vibes to kind of keep us through, shall
Yes.
we say. So give us an example of some of those folks that are doing that for you.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I see so many people that are just suffering so much. So finding the good in the small things is so important for me and for my patients. I would say I love hearing all the feedback from my patients because it's always just amazing what acupuncture can do, and just taking the time to listen to someone can be healing in itself. A couple great stories that always stick with me. I had a patient that was suffering with really bad acid reflux and bloating. He said to me, "I am scared to eat because I'm scared of what it's going to do to my body." And after a month working with him, he's like, "I can eat and I'm not thinking about what I'm eating." And just like small things like that, where you're like, I don't want you to be afraid to eat.
Oh,
That one always really sticks with me. And then always working with pregnancy and all those mamas, and they text me. We help them right before labor. So when I get the text like, "Hey, I can't make it to my next appointment, I'm having my baby," it's always so exciting to hear that we're bringing a new life into the world and that they're happy and healthy. So that's always a good win for me too.
those are huge wins. I wish, in the format we have, I wish we had the little heart button that kind of goes and stuff. I love hearing those stories and stuff. I do just want to actually just ask you something combined. Have you found that AI is a detriment or helpful to your business in any sort of sense? Obviously that's something that's a pretty hot button out there for every industry.
Yeah, it is talked about. A lot of practitioners are using it now just for like charting purposes to help them with like scheduling and not having to sit at their computer typing up all their notes for hours. So that's how it's showing up the most. They are making these like crazy robot things that we feel people's pulses to diagnose them. So now they have this like robot thing where you can stick your hands in it and it will feel your pulse and it will tell you what herbal formula you need. But it hasn't made it to the States yet. It's still in China, but you never know.
Sure. Well, I will always say, no matter how far that goes, it will never replace the human touch and what humans can actually do, no matter where we go with all this stuff.
Right.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook and Instagram, McHenry County Acupuncture. Website, same, McHenry County Acupuncture. Feel free to call or text me at the phone number listed there anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions or emails. And then I do my community acupuncture once a month at the last Saturday of the month. So they are always welcome to come check me out there too.
Awesome. Well, listen, Megan, we really appreciate you stopping by. I know we've been talking to you about this for a while, but it's just been such a pleasure to see you again, and to hear about what you're so passionate about doing. Obviously, if somebody wants to feel better about themselves, I think that you're somebody that can point them in the right direction. So thank you so very much for your time today.
Thank you, Joe. It was my pleasure.
Awesome.
You too.